And yes, we are live. Yes, we are live. Please help send that live out. Okay, so thank you. And I am so delighted that we're on day 10 of this challenge. I can't wait for this challenge to finish. At the same time, I don't want this challenge to finish because there's so much that God has packed for us in this challenge, even amazes me myself, right? Because I mean, at the very beginning of the thought of this challenge, it was thought of in different directions. But when God said, this is what it would be, it sounded less romantic, sounded less exciting, people will want to join. But we thank you because you have been joining every day. For those who have been joining every day, you are our number one fan. And you are the number one fan of your success in life, right? And for those who have been joining and been making changes based on the things that God has been sending to us for the different days, you are the true MVP. Keep it up, don't stop, and let's go there. Let's go there. All right. So day 9 was ecstatic, or how will I even describe it? Day 9 was wow yesterday. Like I mean, I almost broke into tears yesterday. You guys got me really teary. The matter was too deep that number one, I couldn't control it. Number one, I lost track of time completely. Coupled with the fact that we couldn't start on time due to some technical issues we had. But thank God it was done. Our apologies again that it was longer than 30 minutes. We'd like to keep to our words, right? Bear with us. But when you open that day 9, you would understand what I mean. And that is day 9. Arise, save that child. Arise, save that child. Today is a continuation of it because we couldn't even, we barely touch half of all that needed to be talked about. So today we'll delve a little deeper just so you understand what we're really talking about, get it, and also get what it is you're supposed to start doing if you want to take action. And I'm hoping as many people as join our stream wants to take action. Yeah, so just a quick recap. This is our first third of the challenge. So we want to celebrate what had happened for day 1 all the way to day 10. So if you wouldn't mind, I would like to admit to put it up. Let's just talk about it. Day 1 was arise and eat. As in when we were brainstorming the idea of the challenge, right? We didn't know what day 1 would be. We didn't know what they would be. We're like, oh, what will it be? What's the first thing you're supposed to tell a man if you want a man to arise? And we couldn't figure it out. But boom, he came. Arise and eat. Eat what? Go see about what? Chinese rice, what? Octopus. What do you eat? And he talked about eating healthy, talked about studying the word, and talked about consuming books as much as possible. So that was phenomenal. I don't know why admin is not putting it up. Admin, if you can help put up all the days, we'd appreciate it. Well, day 2 was arise and walk. Arise and walk. And arise and walk was that you should get up and start working on that marriage. Start working on that marriage. Go to your house. Go to your house and start focusing. Yes, day 1, thank you. You can move to day 2 now. Go to your house and start working on that thing that you are supposed to do in your family. You just call the awareness of married men to their home and to their marriage, and call the awareness of single men to the need for them to start talking about getting married, start making moves towards getting married, and on like that. We went with the other days. I'm still seeing just day 1. I don't know why. Oh, okay, just went to the end. So this is just everything, all the recap. Well, I've been good that we're able to do this now. So, do we have any challenge with going through all the days? Can we fast forward it? Just fast forward it to the days so that we see the days. Okay, I think that in the studio they might be having some challenges, so I'll just leave this and talk about it as I see it. So it's scattered. I see day three. Okay, day three out of the box. Beautiful. This one was the one that I was talking about. Leave your phone, leave that tab, leave that laptop, and get free. And we'll delve deeper when we're talking about addictions. And day four was arise, oh sleep, oh sleepers. Arise, oh sleepers. Like the men needed to wake up because in some cases we were asleep. We were asleep, right? So we needed to arise out of sleep, so that we can get the life that God has had designed for us. The five was arise, build that altar, the one that called us to create an altar in your house, create a space, a moment that it is you and God, calling men to just sit down and focus on God and focus on God. And day seven, what was day seven again? Day seven was I can't remember the seven now, but I know we've talked about arise and arise, save that child was yesterday. That was day nine. Day eight was arise and I don't know, arise into gratitude. Yes, arise into gratitude, and that was the one that was talking about one of the key things that people do not pay attention to. Men usually, because the way we're built as men, we're built to just focus on what we're doing, the work, what's gonna bring the impact, what is moving the needle. But what really moves the needle is your ability to be able to go back to God always and be grateful to God for the things that God has done. Okay, so and we went on and we are here. We celebrate the fact that we've gone this far. We thank God that God has helped us, and you too for supporting by watching the videos. Thank you. So because we have so much that we need to get done today, we'll go straight to the crux of the matter. So arise, save your child too. And if you did not watch Save Your Child 1, please go back to it and watch it. It is beyond what you can think of. You want to see it. Continuation from that is that yesterday we talked about the fact that most unmarried men or single men have created a lot of unborn children. And the pain of being an unborn child is more than the pain of being a fatherless child, as far as we're concerned, because that's a dream that you did not allow to actualize. You didn't allow that dream to actualize. You didn't allow the dream to actualize because you cut that dream short. You cut that dream short by holding it to yourself. So you are carrying a dream as big as, think of any dream around. Think of any dream of any big person that has come to pass. You're carrying that dream in your body. You're carrying it in yourself, and you're denying the world of it. You're denying the world of it. So that's the number one thing we touched. Then we went further and talked about expectant fathers who do not think that they are part of the pregnancy. When they want to say but talk about pregnancy, say, oh, my wife is pregnant. They don't say we are pregnant. You are pregnant. It's both of you. You are involved. And we were not even talking about you going for antenatal, for checkups with your wife, being with your wife through it. We're talking about some very, very congent things that you need to be doing for the baby, on the baby, and with the mother also, your wife, to make sure that your baby is in the right environment while they're growing in the womb. Declarations that you need to be making on the baby. The songs, the kind of song you're supposed to surround the baby with, kind of environment you're supposed to surround the baby with, the kind of mood you're supposed to keep the mother. We talked about that. Look for the video. It's going to be published in about, I think, 1 to 2 hours now, so you'll be able to have access to it. And then the last is we now talked about married men, and we talked about how married men are needed to be conscious of the work that God has called them into in their family with the children. We talked about how most people are leaving their children to chance, and allowing something else to train their children for them. And we're hoping that you would watch that video and you will get those things that God has for you. So one of the first two things that we talked about that you need to save a child from, talked about child's brain, the capacity, their mind, their emotions. But after that, we talked about some things you need to save the child from, and about 3 or 4 of them. We talked about 2. The first talk about you need to save the child from yourself. So if you are lazy, you need to save the child from laziness. If you're an alcoholic, you need to save the child from being an alcoholic. And one of the ways you can do it, if you are still struggling with it, because a lot of parents are struggling with things that they don't even have a way to sort. If you are struggling with it, I think the first thing you need to do is to apologize to that guy, to that child. Be vulnerable with the child enough to let the child know that this is the challenge I have, and I have not been able to sort it. This is the challenge that I have, and I have not been able to sort it. Because that child sees much more than you think. They're seeing everything. They can see it, and they're asking themselves, what do I do with this? What am I supposed to do in all this? They are absorbing it and they are reproducing it. And you have issues, but there's nothing you can do. So that is one thing that we can advise on that. And then we talked about saving the child from your immediate environment. We talked about the internal, inside the house, the external, outside the house. So your neighborhood, yes, you're supposed to curate it and see and ensure that what is in this environment that can hurt this child? What's in this environment that can affect this child? What should I be doing? What shouldn't I be doing? We need to think about all that, and put that into serious consideration to know what to do about it. And then your internal house, we talked about the fact that sometimes you have visitors, you have family members, which is not bad because we cannot stop you from having family members. But you need to now think and ask yourself, is there no other way I can raise this child without all these too much dynamics around the child? So you can't really control what's going on. The only thing you're battling with is not what they're hearing in school, it's not what they're hearing when they go to maybe to public places, but also what is right under your nose, right in your heart, right when you think that you're getting everything right, you're probably getting things wrong, and you don't have a way around solving it. That's another thing that we need to think about. It's your life, it's your house. You're the one that will sit down and give it a good thought. And of course, if you need to schedule for a session, get scheduled for a session so that you can discuss that with counselors who can help you, which we can help you on. Please do. One session will not be too much money for you to spend, especially for what you have at stake to protect. Yeah. So today we're going to be looking at saving the child from the society and the economy. So let's go into the text. The text says in Exodus chapter 2. Exodus chapter 2. So I'll just read 1 to 4 and let's go. It says, I'm reading King James Version, by the way. It says, and there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flag by the river bank. And his sister stood afar off to wait what would be done to him. Before this text, Pharaoh had charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river. I'm reading just the last verse of the preceding chapter. Every son that is born you shall cast into the river, this same river, and every daughter you shall save alive. That's pretty much what's happening in our environment today. Yes, I know there are a lot of issues that girl children are going through also, but especially the male child. On this stream, I want to call it on especially the goodly child. So What I mean by the goodly child could be any of the sexes. Every child has a potential to become something huge. Some children have special purpose. In fact, every child has special purpose, particular purpose that God wants them to deliver. Some children carry some special purpose that they need to deliver in life. It is the job of the parent, and this is one of the things that you could achieve if you do what you need to do as an expectant father or mother. One of the jobs of the parent is to know beyond doubt that this child carries a particular purpose that I am part of to make sure it comes to fulfillment. I'm part of the organizing committee to make sure that this purpose is fulfilled. That was what happened to this lady here. Jochebed, or I think that's the name that we got for her eventually. That's what happened to her. That's what happened to her. She saw it that this child is a goodly child, and she hid him for 3 months. She hid him for 3 months. Of course, we know developmental stages of a child, right? If you had a child for 3 months, by the time the child is 3 months, most cases you might start seeing some crawling and all that, right? So she's gotten to the point where she tells herself, I can't hold back this child again. This child will now start interacting with people. While we have said yesterday that you should spend quality time declaring on the child for the first for the period of gestation while the child is still in the womb, it's also important to know that when the child eventually comes and you see the child, there is work for you to do. There's work for you to do. Yes, sir. There is work. It's not just resuming sex. There's work for you to do. There's work for you to do, man. But especially the fathers, because I'm trying to use this to jack up as many men as possible to their duties. There's work for you to do. Declare on the child. Hide this child. Hide this child. I was reading some reports, recently, and was speaking of how you shouldn't expose a child to screens. Hide that child from screen. Hide that child from screens. I know the child disturbs you a lot. The child cries a lot of the time. I know. That's what babies do. That's what they are designed to do. That's the only way they can communicate with you. So you can't say because they cry all the time, I just want to give them something that will distract them. They now put the child in front of the screen just for you to get anything done. That thing you are getting done in value is very infinitesimal compared to the value that you are losing because you kept that child in front of the screen. As that child is singing or crying or whatever, you should be singing and crying. Make it a duet. Make it a trio. You and your wife. Rather than put that child in front of the screen. Fathers, it is our duty as men to tell your wife that no, please, don't let's do this with the child. If you need help, let me know the areas. Let's sit down, let's discuss it and know how we're going to help the child. And know why we're going to help the child in this situation. How are we going to help the child? How do we want to help our child? How do we want to support each other to make sure that we don't lose sight of the child? At the same time, we don't lose sight of what it is we are doing. And we don't expose the child to screen. Don't expose your child to screen. What the damage that you are doing is much more than whatever you think the child is gaining. Your child can learn the alphabet on the board. They can learn the alphabet speaking with you. They can learn the alphabet interacting with objects. They can learn the alphabet interacting with books of their age. They can learn the alphabet interacting with those things, with songs, not screens, please. I beg, and I'm begging you again, not screens. And it's just the way we'll say that it's advisable for a mother, even though I know some breastfeeding mothers might have the challenge, but it's advisable for a mother to do exclusives. If you don't know about exclusive, you can go and find out about it. To do exclusive for at least 3 to 6 months before you let the child into the world of the food that we eat, right? The same way Some children were left on exclusive for more than that time, and the mother did not die. And in some good cases, it's not like anything dropped, because some ladies, that's what they're afraid of, that it will drop, it will become flat and all that. If you don't know what I'm saying, just face forward and be going. You are The Lord has helped you and you have no issues, especially if you are not a mother. But if you're a mother, go and find out. So we advise that you do that, but some people do it past the time. The same way advising that don't expose your child to screen, but some people do it past the time. You can do it. People are doing it. People are doing it. Don't make it seem as if it's impossible. It's not impossible, man. It's not impossible, sir. There are a lot of beautiful things that you can engage the child with, aside the glaring stressful movement on the screen that is just messing up with their brain, because it's just telling their brain excitement, 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 excitement. Brain that is not even developed yet. Just the same way, like I said yesterday, that you can't put that child up for a 100-meter race. That's the same way you shouldn't put that child on the screen. Even you, screen is not good for you. Not that talk of the child. You should regiment your screen time. So please, let's do that. That is very important. I want to move on. And this time around, I want to move on to the economy. So the society is a lot of things happening around. You want to because this is the society they want to come and change. If they are going to be leaders of tomorrow, if they are going to people who are going to change what's happening tomorrow, it's important that they it's important that we'll find. I see a message on we can't find the Nine replay. You'll find the Nine replay. It's going to be published in the next maybe 1 hour. We'll publish that. That was done yesterday. I thank God that you're joining on the live, so you're seeing what's happening now. So you can't you can't be in a system and help a system. You cannot have been immersed in a system and be able to help the system. You will see what happened to Moses eventually. If you have the opportunity to mention that, we'll mention it. Because it had to be taken out of that system. So it wasn't in that slavery system for him to be able to save slaves. Yes, he understood their issue a bit, but not inside. There has to be a mentality build. What mentality are you building in your child? How are you allowing the society to frame up your child, to mold your child, instead of you being the molder, instead of you allowing God to mold the child? So that's first for society. Next is the economy, and they are closely intertwined. But I'll mention why I said the economy. A lot of the industries, a lot of the multi-billion dollar industries seem to portray themselves as that they want to make your child entertained, they want to make their life good, they want to give them a good time. Some even say they want to give them good education, and stuff like that. And they come up with all sorts of applications, sorts of games, multimedia content, and stuff like that. You think that they are how to help you, but they are not how to help you. They are not not for profit organization. They are every day they are scaling, every day they are evolving, every day they are doing research and development to make sure they can make much more pennies off you, much more pennies in the world. And every way possible for them to achieve it, they will go for it. Again, if you have not watched the social media dilemma, go and watch it. I think it's still on Netflix. If it's not on Netflix, you can look for it and find it. Or go and find documentaries on it. Go and find some documentaries on social media. And just like there are social documentaries on social media, there are documentaries on other things. There are documentaries on gaming, there are documentaries on gambling and all sorts. Excuse me. There are documentaries. Go and find out. Go and find out. I have a few things here and I would like to just quickly share them with you. The gaming industry. The gaming industry is addiction by design. Largely addiction by design. in the sense that, let me give you some stats. Say 90% plus, that's above 90% of children aged 8 to 16 play video games regularly. Okay, it's good. Like, oh, it's good to have video. In fact, we've turned it to something fancy now. Like, oh, so person has video. So your children will tell you that our friends have video in their house. They have video game. They have PS4, PS5, whatever it is. And then you're under pressure. You don't get it, just so that your children will not feel like they are suffering. Our friends are okay. Good. Let's go. Average gaming time is 2 to 4 hours a day. So, as a treat, we gave our children opportunity to play PS4. We got it from a friend, and they brought it home for Easter holiday. It was part of the activities that they did, and the time was only 2 hours for, I think, 3 days, every day for 3 days or something like that. Do you know how difficult it was for them to stop after 2 hours? And the adrenaline is so high. As you can see the hold that game can have on a child. Like, no, Dad, can you just give us 10 more minutes? And I'm like, yeah, that's that thing we talked about. Because of course we talked about it before, expose them to that. Oh, this is what game does. They say, yes, let's just have a feel of it, Just pray for it and drop it. I told you guys that it's difficult. They say, yeah, that's true. They said, because we struggled and we overcame it together. Average gaming time is 2 to 4 hours per day. There's some games like loot boxes that give random rewards. Most games even do that. And this mimics gambling behavior. It mimics gambling behavior because all of a sudden you just want to use opportunity to use something little to get something much, so that something much can give you more life in the game. And you see it as, oh, this is good. Something little to get something more. They are building a mentality in you that, oh, you can only make it in life if you can take advantage of something little. Just take a chance. There's a chance. Use something little to see whether I can get something. Then a study linked excessive gaming to lower academic performance and attention issues. If you don't know this, if you want to argue with me, no problem. In fact, I tell you, you win. You win. It does not lower academic performance, and it doesn't it doesn't cause attention issue. No, it doesn't. So no problem. Expose your children to it. In the next few years, me and you will have a conversation, and you will be the one to talk. I won't talk. You'll be the one giving me gist of what had happened, what has transpired. Because it does. It does. That's what these things do. What does this mean? Games are built with dopamine reward loops. They are designed to keep kids playing longer and not learning better. Even the ones that are educational, the monetization that they do, they target impulsive behavior. So a child that is not even in their money personality, they're not impulsive. A child that normally would give thoughts to things is now being retrained to be impulsive in behavior, just based on games. That's not all. Some children now begin to lose sleep because of game. If me and some people that I know, while I was a teenager, lost sleep, forget. Lost sleep because of maybe movie or games. I can't remember we lost sleep because of the game, but because of movies. Then there was we didn't have so much access to phone. I think I had a phone there, but it was polyphonic phone, not those flip phones, it was bad. But you can't watch any video on it, right? But still, we know how to crawl out and slime out of bed when everybody has gone to bed and come and interact with the movie or interact with the game, if we can do it back then. But now you have now put a TV in your children's room. Yes. Yeah, there's cable there. They also have gaming console. They know where it is. They know the password, whatever. And you think they are not losing sleep. You are joking, sir. You are a big joker. Joker's club. Because it's going to happen. They're going to lose sleep, sir. A lot of children are losing sleep. So they get to school or they get to church or wherever they go the next morning and they are sleeping, and you are wondering why they are sleeping. They have not slept. They have lost sleep over days. I was interacting with our eldest son one time, and he's not young. Our eldest son is 26 plus now. He's not young. I was interacting with him and he was talking about how you can just be on the game, and you can be on the game for hours. And before you know, it is 4 a.m., it's 3 a.m., it's 2 a.m. He had had challenges with gaming before, and it was a puzzle before we got to the point we are getting to now. That thing you are building in that child might take you years to resolve it. It is even better for some of you fathers hearing me right now to go and carry that game and dash it to for nothing, dash it away for nothing. Because sometimes what you have spent hundreds of dollars or thousands or millions of naira to buy, and you think is a priceless gift, is going to cost you millions more in trying to solve the problem that it has introduced into your children's life. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That time that you just left lying fallow is not worth it. That phone that you have put in the child's hand, that hey, because I want to connect with the child, that connection that you are connecting with him is 0.05% of the connections that child is having on that phone. A lot more, in most cases, is from friends, is from all whatnot people all over the world. So you have given your child a phone, a tab, a game, a cable TV of some sort, and what you have done is you have created an opportunity for your child to be in the middle of nowhere, the middle of the busiest market in the world, where there are all sorts of people, scavengers, liars, thief, prostitutes, all sorts. And you have left your child alone in that space, and you are in the living room or in your room. And you've told yourself that, oh, I'm a good child, I'm a good parent, I'm a good father, I take care of my children, I don't have this issue. Yeah, John doesn't have the money to buy the game. John doesn't have the money to buy the game. Really? Really? No problem. Well done. I salute you, sir. I go on. Social media industry. Social media is attention equals to money. So they're trying to buy the attention of your child and use that attention, even your own attention too. You're already facing it, you know. So this one, I don't even need to talk too much. They're buying that attention and they are selling it to people for money. They said teens spend 3 to 5 hours every day on social media. 1 in 3 teens report worsening mental health linked to usage of social media. Platforms earn revenue through ads based on attention time. So they catch your child's attention based on rubbish, because there must be a catch at the beginning, right? They catch your child's attention based on some rubbish they can put together, or the content builders have put together, and they use that to hook your child and feed your child nonsense. And that nonsense is sweeter. So this kind of thing I'm talking about now, you can't see it on social media. And if you're just any person, anyhow person, you would sit there and listen to it. You don't want to listen to it. You want to listen to one where they are shouting, where they are alien. By the way, you'll be seeing some of our shots like that, because we're trying to also attract people like that to be able to feed on our content. So you see some shots like that, please don't be afraid. We're just trying to do as much as possible to get as many people as possible to be able to hear what we have to say. It's one thing we've learned from Jesus. Okay, so it says 1 in 3 teens report worsening mental health linked to usage. It said platforms earn revenue through ads. So they want you to keep you on to show you as much ads. It said infinite scroll plus notification increase usage by 40% plus. So we have now been a generation where they do this. I told you about the young man, maybe even average age, mid-40s or so. Every time in church, this was many years ago, every time in church, as everybody is dancing and singing of some sort, he's with his phone and in pocket and he's doing this. Matured man. If a matured man can do that in church, in public, in the midst of people, how much more a child that you live with a phone? I go on. What this means is that platforms are engineered to maximize screen time. More time, more ads, more revenue. So they want to keep your child on. Emotional triggers like comments, exploit validation need. So a child now it puts a comment on, and they are looking for people to come and say like to their comments. If you like, comment on my video, your business. If you like, don't comment. If you comment, you'll help. But if you comment or not, I've dropped the message. We have dropped it. We have moved on. Let me quickly touch on movie and entertainment industry. Children are exposed to violent or unrealistic content showing high aggressive level. As in, there was a time we were having a conversation with our children. We're talking about the fact that most movies are acted, and these days you have a lot of stunts in the movies. So you think that they are real, but they are not real. Either they are showing something that is not real, talking about animals speaking and stuff like that, or they are talking about something in the space that even the people that are working, NASA that is working on this project year in, year out, they've not even gotten close to that kind of breakthrough. So it's all real stuff. I'm like, can we look for a movie where people are having real life conversation? Nobody needs to bring out a gun and shoot, and they're like, no, daddy, no. I said, okay, let's sit down, analyze together. Since you have been born, you have been 10 years plus, right? Since you've been born, right? Have you had any encounter with anybody bringing out a phone and shooting on our street because somebody touched somebody or because they want to kill somebody? Have you seen anything like that? Have you seen anybody in suit, walking, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, they're coming, and they sniper, Have you seen anything like that? It's largely unreal to our society. But movie can now start making it real in your head or just make you an unrealistic person. Anyways, so they are showing unrealistic content. Average child watches 2 to 3 hours of video content daily. Media strongly shape identity of your child. So that child is beginning to have identity that is not the identity you have or want them to have. It shapes the relationships and it shapes their expectation of life. So we already have children that are dead on arrival because their identity is warped, their relationship is damaged, they have damaged sense of relationship, and their expectation in life is either so high or so low that is nothing to write home about. What this means that content is optimized for viewers and the views and engagement, and not for value. Carry this stream and give it to your child and tell your child to watch. Sit down with the child and watch it with the child. This is the economy in which you are giving birth to the child. The economy that does not care about your child. The economy doesn't care about your child. So if you care about your child, you need to hide that child from this economy. And when you get to the point where you can no more hide the child, you should be the age 18 or 20, then put the child in the basket. Layer the basket so that there won't be any sinking of the basket. Then, yes, you release the child into the world, but this child is not just in the world. They are in the world in the basket with layers of protections, and you know that they'll be able to cope. And not just that, it says there in verse 4 of the text, so verse 3 of the text, it said that it was put in the flags by the riverbank, not inside, not deep. Try your children on things like, why do you make decisions on this? See the way they cope. That is conversation for another day. My wife and I have been submitted to a parenting platform for years now, and we have been so blessed. That's TIP. If you are not in the parenting academy, well, where are you? Okay, for a starter, search for Coach Wendy Ologe and even interact with some of the videos and see what more you can learn from it aside what you have gotten here. I need to end in 1 minute. And then they said there that his sister stood afar off to wit that what would be done to him. So keep watch over that child too. You say you release that child into the world. Oh, he's not a teenager. Oh, he's not a young adult. Now he can handle himself. He's 18 years old. He's 20 years old. Let him be okay. He'll make his decision. No, be watching and be advising. Oh, did you see this? What do you think about it? Oh, hope you didn't look for any viral video. I heard there's a viral video. Say, mommy, text your child. Mommy, I've seen it. Then you can, daddy, I've seen it. Then you can tell your child, you're not supposed to interact, things like that. They don't mean anything to you. There's nothing you're looking for in it. Watch that child, monitor that child, work with that child. I'm praying that this day 9 and day 10 would have woken some fathers up to arise to save that child that you have been made a steward for. You're a steward for that child, sir. You're a steward for that child, man. And if you think that, oh, if God is the owner of the child, then God should watch the child, you are a joker, sir, because Moses saved the entire children of Israel. God should have saved them. But God needed someone who is aware of where Moses was going, what purpose Moses has to protect Moses. Okay, let's leave Moses aside. The savior of the world, Moses saved Israel. The savior of the world, Jesus Christ, the Son of God himself, needed somebody to be awake, a father to awake in the middle of the night and say, oh yeah, you, let's go. So that this child will not be destroyed. So, sir, you need to awake. And if sir is refusing to awake, without shouting on sir, without making any noise, without having any issues with your marriage, mothers, just like the mother of Moses, because they didn't even tell us anything about father of Moses, just like the mother of Moses, hide that child. Just like the mother of Moses, wrap that child in a basket. And I'm praying that you have results in your parenting. I'm praying that you'll be rewarded. There are a lot of rewards that you have missed just because you are not doing your job. Wake up to your parenting job as fathers, and mothers, support them in every way you think possible. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us this screen. Apologies that we exceeded time. This parenting issue is a big issue. Let's arise. Fathers, single men, married men, let's arise and save that child. Thank you so much, and God bless you.